Hey, good morning. Hi, people. I am early. It's like minutes to 9, minutes to 10, minutes to 9. Wow, pretty early. I just want to say hi. Let me just wait to give people a chance to join me. Hi, Kefern. How are you? Kefern is the person from Italy, is from France, you said last time, Kefern? I think it was from France, you told me, but I could be wrong. But I just want to say happy Wednesday. Hi, Fablici. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday to everyone. Veron Spring. Good morning to you, dearie. Hi, Kenville Horn. How are you doing? You're from Mars. And I am from Venus. But today I just want everybody to zap back to Earth. We're going to discuss, it's the month of love. I mean, love should be all year round, but they say February is the month of love. But I believe that love should be all round. But to play along with this love month, I'm just going to touch on something here today, because what I realize is that there are many people hurting out there. There are many people hurting out there. Too many people hurting. You know, broken hearts, not having the will to go on, not seeing life beyond their situation. So this is gonna serve as a form of encouragement to people who are going through broken relationships, broken hearts, needing to get out of a bad relationship, or being left by someone whom they love, and thinking that there's no life after this. I have so much in my head on this topic. I'm hoping that I will be able to deliver some of it meaningfully to you, so that you... Yes, Rohan Jazz, I'm at it again. How are you doing? Hi, D. Hey, Rob. Hey, long time. I don't even know who you are by that name, but long time indeed. Long time. So, yes, folks. So, all right, my topic this morning: getting unstuck when love hurts. Aim for a beautiful soul. And you can do this through investment in praising God. For those of you who believe in God, praising God and living a life of purpose. Letting go of the need to control things, to control people. And to trust the process. Trust whatever that you're going through, it will work out for your own good. That things will work out for you, and even if it does not work out, that you will be okay one way or the other. So let me I have a little bit of music here. It's more love, whatever, But anyway, there was a point in my life when I couldn't listen to love songs because they made me so sad. Because I think sometimes when we listen to these songs, we get the wrong message that if we love someone, that we're supposed to love them and just be a slave to our emotions. Because some of these love songs, when you listen to them, it's like the person is telling you that they cannot get over this person they're gonna love. And then also it makes you feel like if this love thing is supposed to drive you crazy and make you feel so helpless. So in order to find myself, I had to stop listening to love songs and start listening to things that uplifted me and helped me to find love within myself. So I started listening to the gospel of God even more. I was listening to it before, but I just took out certain songs out of my environment. I started listening to more gospel music, Cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love. You know, songs like that. I know who I am, and you know, draw me close to you. These gospels music that really made me feel like, you know, I am really loved, because the Bible tells us that Jesus loves us, and once He loves us, then nothing else matters. So you want true love, you want peace within yourself, focus on Jesus. Because that His love will never fail. His love, when all else fail, His love for us will never fail. And therein lies the key to love. And once we love, or once we realize that Jesus loves us regardless to who we are, and we love ourselves despite our mistakes and all of our flaws, then we are able to give that love to others. The more love you give is the more love you receive. You might not receive the love that you give from the same people that you give the love to, but you will receive love. People are gonna love you. Sometimes people love us and we shun them away, you know, but you just look for the love that is intentional, that is pure, that is well-meaning, and not love because of what you have, who you are, your social status. Just make sure that that person who is loving you in a healthy way. So today we're going to talk about getting unstuck, and I'm going to look at this from a perspective. Hi, Bokanaway, good morning. Hi, you, Trisha, good morning. I'm going to look at this from a viewpoint. I'm looking on social media and I'm seeing so many people who are hurting, you know, and one of the things I see that they're saying is that they do not know how to get past whatever broken relationship. Some of them have been in relationships with people who are narcissistic, or who have, you know, who are just evil. And so they love this person to the point where they do not feel that they can move on, even if they know that the other person doesn't love them, that they're being abused by this other person. And this, you know, broken heart is not just a woman's thing, it's a man's thing. You might be surprising, you know, of the number of men who are get their heart broken. So it's not just women who get their heart broken, but men also get their heart broken. But the key, good morning, Fraser, good morning, Sherry and Kane. But the key to all of this, you see, once you've gotten your heart broken, you know, you have to decide whether you want it to make you bitter or better. For if you make it better, then your intentions the next time around when you fall in love will be better. But some people, unfortunately, they get hurt, whether in their childhood or in their adulthood, they get their hearts broken, and then instead of letting that broken heart teach them a lesson. Hi Vera, and I missed you the last time, but I'm saying greetings to you, dearie. I hope all is well with you. Good morning, Patricia. Yes, so, you know, sometimes, unfortunately, people who get their heart broken, they turn out bitter, and so the next person that comes along, they lash out on them and they treat them in the very worst way. So they are not able to get past their hurt and love someone in a healthy way. So instead of giving them, you know, that genuine healthy love, they project all of their feelings of hatred and resentment from their last love affair onto this new person. And this is where sometimes this new person now is gonna, is getting their heart broken, because they find themselves in a messed up relationship with somebody who is messed up. So, you know, if you are, your heart is broken, my encouragement to you is not to be bitter about it, but to learn the lessons. Don't beat upon yourself. Don't harbor resentment, regarding, you know, whoever did you wrong, or whoever contributed towards your broken heart. Take responsibility for your end of what, you know, the relationship, what happened, and learn from your mistakes going forward. Because I wrote a quote this morning. The antidote to a broken heart is finding the courage to love again. Sometimes when we get our heart broken, we're not able to see past it, and so we tell ourselves that we will not love again. But that just remind yourself that if you're going through a broken relationship right now, if your heart is broken right now for whatever reason, there is life beyond a broken heart. I am living testimony of that. One friend of mine, a favorite person of mine, he said that he did not see past his life, past his broken heart, when the person he loved betrayed him, and and there are other testimonies of people getting through a broken heart. Some of you here listening to me, you might have had your heart broken many times, and still find the courage to love again, and to each time you do so to learn from the lessons. And the thing about it is that in love there is always a risk that the person will not continue to love you, but there's always this risk. And as Bob Marley says, it's like everyone's gonna hurt you. You just have to find a person that is worth suffering for. So you got to find a person, because everybody's gonna hurt you, because we're all people and we all have our ways, and sometimes we hurt. But you have to find a person who you're worth who is worth suffering for. Hi, Godfrey Nichols. Good topic and a very good assessment. Thank you. I am appreciative of that feedback. Freshest Inns, that is so true. And you are all welcome to put your little things in here, so that other people who are listening this and have a broken heart can listen to and get some kind of, and get some validation that yes, I can get through this. I'm going to share a little of my past life with you. Let me see, how should I start this? I'm going to ask you the question. Think back to a time when you, for those of you who are, are good right now and not broken hearted, think back to a time when your heart was broken, and try to recall the feeling then and how you feel now. One of the most painful experiences that I have had is being pregnant and being alone. Being pregnant, loved the man who I was pregnant for, but ending up alone at 4 months pregnant, alone to the point, pregnant. Can you imagine that? In pregnancy, you're imbalanced, your hormones are all over the place, and some people, they get out of a pregnancy, and they after they get the baby, they go through what you call postpartum depression. And to imagine that at 4 months pregnant, I was alone, not having the love of the person who I love, the person who I was pregnant for. This was one of the most painful periods in my life. I said thank God for friends and my sister, one of my sister, especially one of them, who was there throughout that period for me, when it was difficult to eat, when it was difficult and as I thought now, it makes me a bit emotional, but I'm all good. It was difficult to eat. It was difficult to even though I love the person inside of me, it was so difficult to see life beyond that. And at times the feeling as if I wanted to die will engulf me. But then I kept reminding myself that I had a beautiful life inside of me. And that was one of the things that kept me going, feeling her move in my womb, and at the time I didn't know it was a girl. Honestly, I did not know it was a girl until she was born, because when I went for ultrasound, they did not know, because the baby kept closing its legs, but the person who did the ultrasound, they said to me, they believe it's a girl because the way the leg was closed, and they were not seeing any scrotum, protruding. So anyway, I am there and I'm telling myself it's a girl, but feeling her move inside of me, but at the same time, a tug between a broken heart and trying to protect the life that was within me. When I went for ultrasound at almost 7 months pregnant, they were telling me that she was too small. she was 2 pounds and some ounces, and they were concerned that when she was born that she will be very small, and then I'll have a hard time coping with her. But God is good. God is so good. With friends who cared for me, even though I'm telling you, I did not eat properly until I was about 7 months. When they told me that the baby was too small, then I said to myself, my sister said to me, I said, Ophelia, what you're going through is not the side effects of the pregnancy. This is what you're going through is because of the fact that you're alone and pregnant, but you have to find a way past this so that you can give this baby the nourishment that she needed to get more weight, so that when she was born, that I would not have a difficult time, taking care of her, because, if the baby is too small, then you have to leave it in the prem unit and all of that. So, not only that, you would think that after 9 months of labor, that everything will be fine in terms of my delivery. I remember, in the night, it was this December the 31st, around 8 o'clock, I realized that I was in labor. My water bag was trickling for that entire day, and I did not even realize that, it was I thought it was just normal discharge. I remember going to my friend's place, and she had a whole heap of steps to climb because I wanted this baby out of me. I said, okay, I'm ready for her to born. I really wanted her out. It was the 31st of December. I really did not want to have a January baby. So I was doing everything so I climbed all of these stairs, and I'm telling myself that I want this baby to be delivered. But not knowing that I actually was in labor and did not know with the signs that I was seeing. Anyway, I went for an assessment, and the nurse said, Ophelia, you are in labor. That's your water sac that broke. And so I went down, and I was rejoicing and saying, I'm gonna be a great person tonight. I'm gonna be happy and all of that. I was celebrating. I packed my bags with peanuts and black cake and all the little nitty-gritties, and I went down to the hospital. When I got there, it's like the nurse is saying, okay, let me give you an enema. They gave me the enema, and then I started having pain. But they were convinced that I would not deliver until late the next day, so they were threatening to take me to the other side of the hospital where they keep the women who are far, who are still, who are supposed to wait a long time to deliver the baby. But I was like, nurse, if you take me over there, I'm gonna scream down the place because I'm having pain. And I'm telling her I'm having pain. One part of me, I'm celebrating the birth of my child, but another part of me is like my heart is heavy because the person who I was having this baby for was not there for me. During the course of the night, the pain became worse. At one point, the person who I was pregnant for showed up. And I'm telling you, instead of less pain, it was more pain. You know why? Because he had somebody outside waiting for him. He had a woman outside waiting for him, and I'm in there in pain and not getting the kind of comfort I needed. And I'm telling you, this was the worst pain I've ever known. I said, Lord, you promised never to leave me nor forsake me, and you promised never to give me more than I can bear. That was crazy pain. So I'm telling you that the most pain, the most painful period of my life was giving birth, was being pregnant alone and giving birth to a child while the man I was giving birth for that child was outside, came to see me while a woman was waiting outside for him. That was the most difficult period of my life. But I'm giving you this testimony not because I'm bitter, but because I'm telling you that there is life after a broken heart. You may not be able to see it at this point, but there is life after a broken heart. Do not let yourself, sometimes what happens is that we make choices. And I say that it was a poor choice that I made to get involved with this person. But at the same time, I have a beautiful daughter and I am not regretting her. But it was a poor choice on my part because I never took the time to get to know this person. So you get your lessons from these experiences, and and it's good when you have people around that is supporting you when you are going through these difficulties. Yes, Buck Hanaway, Bessie didn't come, honestly speaking, because when he came, it's like the pain was worse. After knowing that he was there, and the surprising thing is that on my way to the hospital, I hadn't spoken to this man in months. And on my way to the hospital, it's like something probably connected to him. And he called me that very same night. And he asked me how I was. And I said I was fine. And I was on the way to the hospital. I did not tell him at that point. But afterwards, it's like, so somebody convinced me and say, Ophelia, why not just let him know that you're having the baby, just in case he might want to be there. And maybe you might get some comfort from that. So with that, that little convincing, I messaged him and I said that, afterwards that I am here, I'm in labor and all of that. But, it's no easy feat when you trust someone and then you get your heart broken. And I've been there, to the point where I ask myself, is it worth it, or is there life after this? Is there happiness after this? What brought me comfort is reading the word of God and friends around me. I remember reading all of these Psalms, all these Psalms is like Psalms is a very, it's healing when you read your Psalms. And even after I got the baby, he was trying to come back in my life. It was like, and I was like kind of confused. But one day I woke up and I felt so happy. I felt so happy. I started crying, but it was not tears of sadness. It was tears of joy. I said, finally, I am over this man. Finally. I was over this man. And I said to him, there could never be a future between me and you, because guess what? I am happy. And the way I feel right now, I say, I don't want to go back to where I was. I don't want to go back to where I was. So there is life after a heartbreak. You just have to have the will. You have to have the will to get past that pain, to find people to support you, to find God and seek the word of God, to pray. Prayer heals. Prayer heals. I wrote a few things on here. So I first caution you not to let your broken heart make you bitter, but to make you better. With a broken heart, one of the first things you have to do is to let go. You have to learn to let go of that person, because you realize that it's too painful to be in this relationship. So you have to find the courage to let go, even while it's killing you. You have to find the courage to accept it for what it is, even while it's killing you. Let go of the tendency that you might have to control the other person. You might tell yourself, okay, maybe something that I am doing why this other person is not loving me. And so you might try to bend over backwards and do other things to please them. But don't do that. Don't do that. The more you keep trying to please this person, is the more disrespect they will give to you. So you have to learn to let go of and not to try to appease this person and because they don't want you. They don't love you. When someone loves you, they love you regardless. And so if letting go is the hardest thing, but it is the best thing. Clem Thomas, letting go is the best thing. It is the best thing, because when you make the decision to let go and you actually let go, it eases the pain, because sometimes part of the pain is in the fact that we're not making a decision. Part of the pain is that we are going along and just letting the person control us. But the very minute that you decide to let go is that you're regaining your power. You're taking your power back when you decide and you actually say, okay, I've had enough and I cannot go on with this. If you don't let go, you're gonna be, the person is gonna string you along, because this person is showing you and telling you that they do not want you. Sometimes it is the fact that the person is actually telling you that they do not want you. And exactly, but kind of way it make you more confident about because it's like, okay, you decide, I'm gonna let it go. So you regain a little bit of power, because you see, the thing is, sometimes when we love someone, we think that we should lose ourselves in that person. Everything we do is about that person. We forget to live outside of that person. Everything we do is just about this person. So when something happens, when your heart gets broken, it's very difficult to see life beyond the person. And that's why I'm giving you these tips now. So the first step is to realize that your heart, that you have to let go. You process the whole situation. So after you've decided to let go, you cannot just push down the emotions and move on. You have to process this information, see the situation for what it is, and don't try to look, to what it was in the past, how well he treated you in the past. Exactly, Wayne Holder. Just remember you are worthy and special. How exactly she treated you in the past, he or she treated you in the past. Try to forget about that and look at the situation as it is now. As it is now, this person does not love me. As it is now, this person does not appreciate me. As it is now, this person is abusing me. As it is now, this person has no regard for my feelings. So you process that. Don't push down the hurt. Find way of letting out. My friend said he cried and he couldn't eat for days. And sometimes that's what getting over a broken heart does. It affects your appetite, and because love, when you're in love and the other person loves you, is that it gives you all of these feel good hormones, and then you have an appetite for everything, and you're all good. But the minute your heart is broken, you can lose your appetite. Some people eat when they are heartbroken, but some people, it affects them the opposite, where they cannot eat. So my friend said, I couldn't eat, but you know what I did? I withdrew from this environment. So the next step is to, if possible, to withdraw physically from that environment. So if you're living with this person, you cannot get over a broken heart living with the same person who caused the broken heart. So you have to withdraw from that environment. If it means going to a new place to live, a new house to live, but getting out of that environment. Don't stay in there, because when the person sees like you are withdrawing, sometimes they are these selfish people. They hurt you and they enjoy seeing you hurt. And the minute they see like you're regaining your power, then they try to come back. Not because they are sorry and they want back in your life. It's because they want to keep you dependent on them all the time. So if you are in the environment where the person broke your heart, then the best thing is to move out of the situation. Get out of that house, rent a new place, go live with somebody, go take a vacation. I remember when I was pregnant, I had to get out from my house, even though that was not the place where the broken heart took place. I mean, it had so many memories, and then I had to, go for 2 weeks and go and stay somewhere else just to get, a little bit of comfort. It's not easy. Yes, Bokanawe, that is why single people look so good. Love is good, and it's good when you find somebody who loves you in return. But if that's not possible, it's beautiful when you are alone and you accept that. Because, when you're single, you don't think about what you're missing. But when you are in love with somebody and they're not treating you right, then you tend to think about the days when you were single and how you felt. So if you're in a relationship and you keep thinking about the days when you're single and how you felt, and you want to go back to that, it means that something is missing in that relationship. The two persons are supposed to be putting in the effort. They're not, and you're feeling brokenhearted. They're showing you, they're telling you that they don't want you. Don't stick around. So get out of that environment. Physically, if the person was not living with you, then it's fine. All you need to do is change up the memories. If you used to listen to certain songs together, it might not be healthy for you to listen to the same songs. Change the music. Change the music. You know, the next thing to do, and the thing that you should always include if you are a believer in God, is that you pray and meditate. Talk to him. When in your meditation, you're getting closer to him, you're asking him to embrace you, and you know, you're telling him of your fears and your pain, and you're asking him to sustain you through that difficult period. You find positive friends, find someone you can trust, you know, to help you just listen to you, because sometimes all we just need is somebody to listen. So find someone who is willing to listen to you, even if you keep talking, because by talking about what you're feeling inside, it's helping you to heal. And by the other person listening to you without giving you any advice, and without you know, trying to tell you to go back to the person without judging you, then that will help with the healing process. The next thing I encourage is to refocus. When we are going through a broken heart, you know, a period like that, it's you know, we are obsessed with this person and the situation. So what happens is, like, we tend to focus all our attention on the person or the object that's breaking our heart. So you know, even if your mind is telling you to focus on this person, you are in control of your mind. Always remember that. You see, your mind is accustomed to one thing, and so you have to refocus and keep, every time your mind tells you to think about this person and try to do something to get this person back. It's like, tell your mind that I'm not going back. I am going to do this. Tell your mind what you want. Keep telling your mind that, because when you keep telling your mind that, the mind eventually will go in the direction that you want. But you have to have the willpower to rise above that and tell yourself, okay, that was a lot of pain. That relationship was a lot of pain, and I'm letting go now. Tell your mind that I'm letting go now. I'm not going back. No contact with this person is very essential. You notice I said before about when removing yourself from the environment. No contact with this person. Sometimes when you're broken up, you're tempted to call back this person and let them know that you know, you're tempted to call them, you're tempted to apologize, you're tempted to tell them how much you're sorry. And at that point, that person does not want to hear anything from you. Even if you had behaviors that would have pushed the person away, whatever the cause of the broken heart, that at that point, the person does not want to hear anything from you. So no contact is very important for your stability, because if the more you contact this person, is the less that person is going to respond. And the less that person responds, is the more hurt you become. So you have to have the self-will that even when you're tempted to call that person, to message that person, that you do not message that person. Because each time, let's say you stayed 4 days and you did not message that person, and then you start to feel a little bit better. But the minute you message that person again, it's like you're going back to square one, and you cannot heal by doing that. And no contact means not accepting any messages from this person, because you know that the person does not love you. Because there are instances where you might have a misunderstanding and you're working it out. That's different. But I'm saying that if you are in a relationship, you shouldn't be not answering the person. You're supposed to be working things out. But if you are broken-hearted, you're out of the relationship, the person does not want you, no contact means not accepting any calls from this other person, because you know that getting back together is not going to solve the solution. You know that this person doesn't love you, and you know you love the person, but the person doesn't love you. And so, you know, accepting contact from them is going to make you feel worse, because then it's like you're renewing contact with this person, and your feelings, are strong and still there. You need time to get your feelings under control, and you cannot do that by constant contact. So it's not good to have contact with the person who broke your heart. You have to let go. You have to let go. So I go back now to refocusing, and when I say refocusing, I mentioned about meditation, pray, and all of that. But refocusing, and this is where you refocus on something that can make you that can bring you joy. What is it that you enjoy doing? What are your interests? What is it that you are doing before you met this person? What made you happy outside of the relationship? Is there a hobby that you have that you can focus on? So refocusing is not just talking to people about your problem. It's not them just prayer, but refocusing also is taking your mind off that person and putting it into putting that energy into something else. It's been said that when you are brokenhearted, the way you find peace is by, helping other people. So what hobby that you have, what service do you have that you can use to help others, you can use to bless others? Maybe refocusing might mean starting a blog, a personal blog or journal, and writing about your experiences. Maybe refocusing is turning to the art that you love before, the drawings that you did before. Maybe refocusing, is going back to the charitable work that you did. Maybe refocusing is writing a book. Maybe whatever. Maybe refocusing is writing a song about your painful experiences, whatever it is. And maybe refocusing. Right, Bokanawe says steel pan. So your music, maybe refocusing is involving in the sport that you love, athletics, football. Maybe refocusing is taking care of your children who you are neglecting while you are loving this person. Maybe refocusing is visiting your relatives and friends who you neglected when you were also taken up with this relationship. Whatever it means, you refocus. Oh yes, Thaddeus Lewis. I was thinking about that, and I am happy that you raised it, because the last live video you did, you need to do part 2 so we men can draw our views. So also don't forget, my friend. Yes, Thaddeus, you are so true. I promise that I'm gonna do that, but when I do that, you're gonna have to get involved, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up the forum so that men can tell us women the reason why men leave the women they love. So I promise you that that's gonna be up next, that video. But I want the men to tune into it. Well, Bokanawe, that last video was why women leave the men they love. Because what I found was that men, there was a lot of things out there about women, why men leaving the women they love. But I didn't see much on why women leave the men they love. So I did a video on that to let guys know, what we are thinking and how we are feeling when we decide to leave, even when we love you. So Thaddeus was engaged in that discussion, and Thaddeus Lewis, and now he's asking for part 2, and I quite agree. I thought about it the other night, but I was saying, sometimes I'm having these videos and I'm not hearing from the men. So now he's mentioned it. I'm gonna do it. Hopefully, I'm thinking maybe Friday, depends on what's happening, God's willing. Maybe even tomorrow, who knows, that I will bring that video, why men leave the women they love. Let us have some real live comments on that. Exactly, Bokanawe. So stay tuned. So, whatever it is, the key to getting over a broken heart lies in refocusing, taking that focus off that person who hurt you and putting that focus into other things that are positive. Your spiritual life, nurture it, take care of it. Your dreams, your hobbies, it's a time to pursue a dream. If you were busy running, chasing after this person, whether it's a man or a woman, now this is the time where you refocus and you say, you know what, I was busy running after him or her, but now I'm gonna refocus and focus on myself. What is it that I wanted to do all along that I was forsaken? And this is why I encourage women like myself and men as well not to lose yourself inside a relationship. Yes, you're gonna love this person, but try not to hold on to them too much and try to control them. Let them be themselves in the relationship, to the point where they do not disrespect you or anything like that, but allow them to be themselves. And don't try to control how they, and at the same time, set your standards. And when you see people treat you how that you don't like, feel free to open up and express your feelings without blaming and without shaming. So, you don't let your relationship go down the path where you cannot bring it back. So, and take time to know this other person. Connect on an emotional level. Share your painful experiences with this person. If they cannot take those painful experiences, then it means that they're not fit to be in your life. Because if you have a painful experience that you want to share, that person who is engaging with you should be willing to listen. And if they cannot accept you with that painful past, then they don't have any right being in your life. So it's a two-way street. But don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself in a relationship. Do not lose yourself. Is there any thing that you like to say, guys? Women, I'm here, people listening, but what kind of contribution can you give? Is there anything that you want to say regarding this? Yes, Tadia says he's waiting. He's waiting. So a lot of people, they ask, how do I get over a broken heart? I just share some tips with you. It's about letting go, learning, not trying not to control the outcome. And there's no surety, and love is always a risk, but you have to make sure that you take calculated risks. Don't go loving somebody who obviously tells you in the beginning that they do not want a relationship with you. If they tell you in the beginning that they do not want a relationship with you, please do not try to convince them otherwise. Just leave it as it is. If you see the person is unstable and you're not yet involved with them, do not get in. Take calculated risk in love. Make sure that the person wants the same things. At the end of the day, people can change, and that's true. But what you're doing is reducing the chances of a broken heart by looking for some standards, making sure that this person and you are of equal yoke, you're on the same page, and that you want similar things, even though you might have differences, that you want similar things in life. So I wrote this little book, the first book that I ever wrote. It's a Woman's Guide 2017, how to regain 5 steps to regain balance in life and relationships. It's a Kindle format. It was really written for women, but I think men can really learn from it. In this book, I share some of the tips that I have here, that I told you here. I share some of those in this book. I think it's $1.99 on Amazon. I don't have any reviews on it, but people have bought it. People have bought this book, and unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't want you knowing that they've had a relationship issues. The other book that you can try to is That You're Just Not His Priority. Fellas, this is a book that men as well love, because I've had feedback from men. You're Just Not His Priority is another book. This one is available at in Kindle. Can't remember the cost of the Kindle, but the paperback format is $5.38 on Amazon. It's a book that tells of a relationship where the woman was being stringed along by the man, and she finally realizes that she was not a priority in his life. He didn't regard her as a priority. And so she decided that even though she was warring between staying and leaving, she decided in the end to move on. This book is short. It's 100 and probably like 6 pages. But men have told me that by reading the book, they actually got insight into how a woman feels when when you do certain things. So this is a book that you can read and get some information from. Thaddeus Lewis, some ladies don't understand the true meaning of a relationship. That is true, and some men don't. Sometimes it depends on what you're looking for. My thing is that You look for someone who is looking for the same things, but sometimes people lie, so you have to look at their actions and how consistent. Look for a pattern of behavior, because as I said, there are people who will, and there are people who would tell you that they want certain things, and then in the relationship they decide to change their mind for whatever reason. Maybe they lose that initial attraction, whatever the case is. So there is absolutely no guarantee that the person you love is going to love you back. It's a risk that we have to take. But I'm saying that, you know, even after heartbreak, there is love. You can love again. You can love again. And you might be right now where you've been, you know, away from this person who you were in a relationship with. And you're telling yourself that you miss this person, but allow yourself the chance to get to know someone new. This is what I did. And by by allowing someone new to come into my life, I was able to forget this person who hurt me completely. I was able to control my feelings of fear, because sometimes, you know, I still get a little feelings of fear and a little bit of insecurity, but, you know, getting to know this person day by day, looking at them and you know, being reminded of how the kind of person they are and the way how they treat me is like, it strengthens the trust, and it allows me to get more deep into this relationship with this person. So don't block out yourself and say, oh, everybody's gonna hurt you. Everybody's not gonna hurt you, but, you know, find a person that's worth suffering for. Find that person and love them. Don't go in one foot in, one foot out. Don't give mixed, you know, be stable and deal with your issues. The funny thing about it is that, love, even after we think that we've gotten over someone, when we are faced with someone else that we come to love, then it brings up all of these fears that we had before. It brings up all of these fears that we had before. And so when you love someone new, you might project, you might think, you know, things that you experienced before. You might think, oh my God, I'm going to experience them again. And you might be tempted to run away, but don't run. Don't run unless the person is showing you that they don't want you. Don't run. You give that person a chance to love you. Deal with your issues. If the person is patient and is willing to understand where you are coming from, give this person a chance to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Give that person a chance. Put God in it. Pray for that person. Pray. I normally say, Lord, you know, I'm praying for this person that they will be honest with me. If one day they wake up and they find they do not love me, just let me know. But I pray for them, you know, for their peace of mind, for their happiness. I pray for them, and I pray that even if the relationship doesn't work out, that I can, you know, that I will be okay. But most of all, I pray for guidance. I pray for the ability to accept this person as they are, the ability to be patient, to understand this person, to respect this person. I pray for all of these things, and you just have to just trust that things are going to work out. There's absolutely no guarantee. But kind of way, you need to bring church to Facebook Live, reading a Bible discussion. I did one of that when I did faith. Yes, I am thinking along those lines, but everything takes its time to get there. What I am thinking of doing maybe at some point in the future is to bring like one verse and, you know, teach on that verse. But until I feel comfortable enough to do so, from time to time, you know, I quote the scriptures during some of the things that I do. I did one with faith, explaining what faith really means, because I understood that. And so I did that in a video, but as I go along, I will. I do this on my blog. Sometimes I use a little scripture in my blogs on my website, cupidandi.com, to include it. There's a spiritual aspect there where you can go and read certain things about my experiences, and where I include verses and stuff like that. So it's getting there. All right, thanks for the suggestion, Buckhanaway. Thaddeus Lewis, some ladies don't know when you're in a relationship, there's a lot of things you need to change. Well, you see, the thing about it is not trying to really change that person. You give the person a reason to change. If you try to change the person, it will backfire on you. What you need to do is, if you're gonna be with that person, you accept them for who they are, but that person loving you, That person loving you and realizing that they have dirty habits will be inspired to change because they love you. That is how it goes. It's like if you force the person to change, because I learned that the hard way, trying to get the person to react the way I wanted them to, it's not gonna work. Remember, the change starts with you. So if you're wanting the person to change certain things, you have to make sure that you're bringing these things to the relationship. And you lead by example. You want the person to respect you, you respect the person. You want the person to be charitable to you, you be charitable. You want things, you give what you want. You give love. You accept them. You don't judge them from past experiences. So you give what you want to get. And don't try to change the person. Don't try to force the person to do anything. When someone loves you, eventually they realize something is important to you. They might succumb, but then always remember there is, in love, there is compromise. You cannot have two stubborn person trying to control the relationship. One has to be, if he is stubborn, then she has to be able to just leave it sometimes and not try to, if both of you are in each other's faces and trying to win, everybody has to win, then it's not gonna work. Somebody has got to compromise. So it's a give and take in relationship. It's a learning lesson. You just have to go with it. Yes, the action is number one. Brenton Smith, I allowed new person into my life to forget about the past, but it again me a few more relationships that I needed. Exactly, and sometimes that is true because before you actually meet that person who's gonna think, maybe you might go through some other failed relationships. There are people who have been married 3 times and then they found someone. There are people who have had relationships and until you find that right person. You love again and you love again, but you try to make sure that you do not repeat the same mistakes all the time. But yeah, you gotta allow people in your life. But I normally say don't do it like when you're just on the rebound. Like you just out of a relationship a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Give yourself some time to heal. No, don't just rush in back to a new relationship because you tell yourself that you don't want to be alone. A lot of people they get into relationships because they don't want to be alone. But I say that you have to learn to be comfortable with yourself. Learn to be comfortable alone so that you know that you're not going into a relationship because you don't like being alone. Some people think that being single is a lonely thing, and I'm saying that being single, you don't have to be lonely. It's all about the mind and what you do with your time. Being single is a period in your life when you should, focus on your goals. Even though you're trying to build relationships, you're not losing yourself with someone who is not ready to commit to you. You're focusing on yourself. You're loving yourself. You're allowing yourself to get to know other people. You're pursuing your dreams. And all of these things. It's not just sitting and waiting for the perfect person. What are you doing while you wait? I keep asking that question. So I just want to say thank you to viewers, Nick Foyle, Angela V. Holland Phillips, JJ John, Tyrone Scott, Evelyn Spence, greetings, Angus Ben, Siobhan Reed, greetings. Seeing some other things there. Let me see who is here as well. Good morning, Siobhan. Let me just go up and see. Joyce James, greetings to you. Roger Buckmeyer, greetings. Hendrickson Williams, greetings to you. Linden Bovell, greetings. I hope I called that name correctly. Conley Rose, greetings to you. Stephanie Aberdeen, greetings. Alison Ned and Velon Neverson, greetings. Julia Sterling, greetings. Ricky Holland, greetings to you. Kevin Eddie, greetings. Alden Best, greetings. Wayne Holder, how are you doing? Clem Thomas again, greetings. Linus Lynch, greetings. Melvin Sample. Desmond Ranjit. I don't know. I hope I call that good, Desmond. Greetings to you. James McCarty again. And Ladwin Barrow, greetings. Who is there I didn't say greetings to? If I didn't call your name, greetings to you. I just want to let you guys know that, when you have painful experiences and you get over them, share them with other people. Give them the encouragement. That is how we help each other. Don't keep your testimonies to yourself. Share it with others so that you help others in their difficult situation. Let me see who is down here talking to me. Thaddeus Lewis, I broke up with my girlfriend because of the way she wants to do things, and she always wants things her way. And the way she cheated me, so I just ask myself if she loved me. Right. Well, the thing is, when you have someone, you love them, you don't always want to have things your way. You have to realize, that it's not all about you. Love is not selfish. Love is kind. Love is unselfish. And if the person loves you, then they would not treat you in a disrespectful manner. When you have to break up with somebody like that and make sure next time around that you find somebody who's going to respect you. Siobhan Reed, greetings to you too. Leslie Pitt, greetings. Leslie, Thaddeus, it's a long story anyhow. I imagine it's a long story. We all have those long stories. Sometimes we cut them short and we just let other people, just give them a little point in then, like how I shared my story, not to just tell you my story, but to show you that there is life and there is love after a broken heart, no matter your situation. The way to get over it might differ in some ways based on who you are, but these simple tips that I gave, you can refer back to them. They're very helpful. Leslie Pitt wants some sunshine. Leslie, the sun is not out in all its glory as it usually is, but our weather is warm compared to yours. Yeah, it's still warm here. It's quite cold in the evenings here, but it's still good. So I will send you some of our weather here. Maybe you should come home and get some. Matteo Saladino, greetings, and Veronica Archibald. Evelyn Spence, I find a lot of relationships sometimes the problem come from the outside. But there are outside influences to relationships. But always remember the two of you in the relationship determine what comes in and what goes out. So even if there are a lot of things in the outside environment, and it goes for everything in our lives. It goes for things that happens to us. We lose our job, because somebody might have carried news on us. We whatever it is, there's always that external aspect. But always remember that, the two persons in the relationship are in control of what comes into the relationship. So there might be outside influences, but if you two know what you're about and really interested in making it work, then that should not be a problem if both persons are interested in making it work. Sean Griffith, that's just my opinion. Evelyn Spence, that's how I see it. And you talk about things like unfaithfulness and all of that, and I say that the persons in the relationships are the ones responsible for making sure that these things do not take place. If people might come, there are always men who are, there will be men looking at me, and there are men coming at me, and there might be, if you're a man, there might be women coming at you, but if you're in a relationship, do you encourage these people in? Do you, that's the question. Do you encourage these people into your relationship? Do you, connect with them on a level that you're not supposed to connect? Do you sort your issues out in the relationship? Do you talk to your other partner, and all of that? So you are in control of what happens in the relationship, what comes into the relationship. You might have financial issues, but it's, and this is one of the things that break a lot of relationships. But if you both are, if you have problems, solve them together. You have financial issues, talk to your partner about them. You have whatever issues you're going through, talk to your partner, and if they love you, they should be willing to both of you deal with the issues. But and that's how I see it. Thaddeus, that's why I say a lot of things need to change. Well, that's true, but if my thing is, don't find somebody who you need to change a lot of things for. Find somebody who you are on the same level with, and whatever little things you have, we're all gonna have differences in relationships. There are things about our partner that we may not always like, but we accept it and not try to change the person. You know, and I keep saying that you accept it. If the person is inspired to change, they will change on their own. If that person is inspired to change, they will change on their own. Always remember that. Leslie, I was hoping to incarnate. Okay, 2016. Okay, well, maybe you will do that another time. I was home in 2016 back home. Well, all the best. So what is your topics today? The topic is getting unstuck when love hurts. Aim for a beautiful soul through investment in praising God. If you believe in God and living a life of purpose, letting go of the need to control and to trust the process that things will work out for you. And even if things doesn't work out, that you still will be okay. So I was just giving some my experiences on that and ways in which I got through my whole heartbreak and that sort of thing. Israel Joseph, even Spence, yes, but I will fight to the end. I'm married for 11 years. It's a lot of up and down. I admire you, Evelyn. I agree with you. You fight for what you want. Just make sure that who you're fighting for wants to be there. Sometimes fighting doesn't mean going after the person who if you're with someone and somebody outside is trying to get in. Fighting doesn't mean going after that person. Fighting means that you look at yourself, what is it that I can do to get this person back to where we were? What is it that my partner may have been talking to me about that they didn't like about me? Fighting means that you do not run your partner. You listen to them when they're speaking. You respect them. Fighting back means you don't focus on who is out there, but you focus when that person comes to you. You're not taking the opportunity to pull them down, but you're discussing your issues and you're allowing love to flow in the relationship. So fighting back could mean a lot of things. Fighting back. One of the things I see a lot of people doing is that in terms of a relationship, the communication is a critical aspect. And I'm staying very long on this. I hope some people don't mind, but if you have to go, you have to go. But the communication aspect is key. And this is something that I've been working on. Sometimes when a partner does something that you don't like, you might be tempted to just attack them. But how about fighting back by using a softer tone, by fighting back about not keeping your feelings bottled up inside, but letting that person know that whatever they did, it makes you feel hurt, and not blaming, not bashing, but listening and respecting each other, giving that person that respect and they those things. So fighting back means a lot of things. But I wish you all the best in your marriage, Evelyn Spence. All the best. 11 years, that's commendable. The relationship is a bed of roses, but it's how much both of you are willing to put in. And at the end of the day, does it make me happy? The majority of times, does it make me happy? Yeah, exactly, Evelyn Spence. You shouldn't be compromising all the time. You shouldn't be the only one compromising. You shouldn't be the only one, like accepting everything, because you don't accept abuse of any kind. That is not acceptable. When I say accept certain things, I'm not talking about abuse, and I don't talk about continual disrespect, because you might have issues and so your thing is that when you have a behavior, do you keep repeating the same behavior all the time? So if the person is constantly disrespecting you and you're talking to them about it and they're still doing that, then that becomes chronic. And so I don't mean that you should accept certain things like that. That those things you don't accept, you don't keep on accepting, because when a partner apologizes for a behavior, that partner should try as much as possible not to repeat the same behavior. They should be making an effort to change the behavior. So Bella Young, Shanice Bella Young, D.A. Rob, greetings. Thaddeus Lewis, we always argue mostly every day when we were together. Wow, that's too toxic. There's no relationship without arguments, but constant argument actually it disintegrates. It breaks down the relationship when you constantly argue. So that's not healthy. Little argument, yes, but constantly arguing with the person is not good. That's not healthy. Yeah, okay, I don't, physical. True, Evelyn Spence. Dan Roy Myers, greetings. Yeah, I know. Thank you. You're welcome, Evelyn. Dwayne Cross. So, folks, this has been a long, session. Man or woman, I just want to let you know that there is life after a broken heart. You know, I know somebody special to me. They shared their experience with me regarding a broken heart. And you know, where they, you know, and they were able to overcome. They said that during that time, that when they were experiencing that, they did not see life past what was happening, because they would have been with this person for a number of years. And sometimes we count the years that we've been with someone and we tell ourselves that, you know, we would not be able to get over the broken heart, but he's done it. Other people have done it. So we know that it's possible to get over a broken heart. So whatever is going on in your life right now, what's key? Faith. And it comes by hearing the word of God, refocusing on the things that really matter, the people who appreciate you, moving yourself out of that environment, that toxic environment, away from that toxic person. No contact with this person, and not accepting contact from them. You know, refocusing on the things that matter. These are some of the things that you should be doing to get over a broken heart. Find a cause that is worth living for outside of a relationship, something that you enjoy doing. You know, take time to know people and set some standards. Make sure that the next relationship you get into, you know, you don't get into it and then allow the person to treat you anyhow. Be able to speak up. A lot of us, especially women, we don't like to speak up when things are affecting us, but if we don't speak, then the other person will not know. And if we allow people to treat us a kind of way, then they continue to treat us like that. And, you know, so even if you right now you're in a relationship and you've not set standards from the start, it's not too late to express yourself, to tell a person it's not okay to disrespect me, it's not okay to whatever, and let the person realize that, you know, they either need to change the way they treat you, or they you know, you would not be in that relationship if they continue along that line. So as Britney Spears says, that I used to think that you know, she had all the answers to everything, but then she realized that life doesn't always go her way. So like, things wouldn't always work out the way, but just know that it's okay, and learn to love again. Love again. Don't let a broken heart stop you from loving again. All right. So that's my message for you guys. I'm going now. I've spoken long enough, but I just trust that please, people, share this video. You never know who this video might bless. Somebody, there's so many broken hearts out there, men and women. Share the video. Feel free to share this video. I love to see the shares. Share it. And leave your comments below, and all the best. God bless. Have a good remainder of the week, and I'm looking forward to part 2, why men leave the women they love, in which men will engage us and let us know the reasons why they leave us. All right, bye.